Hello, and welcome to Joseph's Diaries. I need to make this video now when it's in my mind and I'm thinking about it. I don't even know if you can hear me. I need to make sure you can hear me. Hopefully this works. Okay. Today, I'm going to talk about people who say just be happy. Or people who are like, just be positive, and then everything's positive. I'm going to be biased as fuck. If you don't want to hear a biased personal experience from that concept, this is not the video for you. But if you're willing to listen, if you want to listen, we'll just say want to, because willing isn't necessarily a fair statement almost either, then continue. Because I want it to just be what rolls off the tongue, even if it isn't great. Especially recently, I have been being told that. Or been told that, oh, just be positive because things are going to be positive. Oh, just, think or act a certain way and things are going to... That's the key, that's the master. And I do think to some extent, yes. Just in the sense of people who are already always positive are naturally not going to be as affected by things that happen that don't feel positive, right? Because if you're always positive, if you're always like positive, then things that aren't positive, right? Whatever. Just think positive and then you move on. I have dealt with mental health my whole life, and I don't know if that connects to it or not, but that has never been like that. And for me to just be positive is to directly ignore the issues that I'm dealing with. There is no way around feeling what I authentically feel to get to just be positive, just whatever, just, things move on. Like, yes, but it's like, it's the same thing as like or what I like to think in my mind personally of like relationships. Do you tell someone that just broke up with someone, we'll just say they've been in a relationship for 2 years, they just had a breakup. Do you just be like, oh, we'll just get over it? They're so sad and you're just like, get over it. They're really mad, just get over it. Like, yeah, that's gonna fucking help. Telling them to just get over it doesn't work. And the only times it works, temporarily by the way, is when you're like, oh yeah, just go sleep with someone. Because it's like, oh, here's quick fixes. There's never just get over it. There's no like anything and then just it's fine, it's great, it's fucking dandy. No, it's not how it works. And especially when you take someone out of their element, like you try to be like if you're like, here's problems, concerns, now let me take you out of your element. That still exists, but here's all these new problems. Now when someone is willingly and openly doing that, I don't know what kind of response that person would expect. If they expect it to just be great and fine and they're so happy and they're great and just like they're fine with it. Like, I think someone would have to be a little bit like delusionally positive for that to be okay. For anyone to be like, the needs that you have in a relationship, right, a give and take, I'm giving so much. This is another person. Someone is like, I'm giving so much, and so I'm not going to do any of that anymore. But I need you to give back. To me, that makes no fucking sense. It is fine and fair to have boundaries, to talk and discuss about that. To 100% just enact and do things is a little bit iffy and borderline like, well, then you didn't communicate. Well, then you didn't say anything. And so then that's when conflict starts, because you're openly being like, I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to communicate it. I'm not going to talk about it or whatever. I'm just going to do. And I don't get it, personally. Or it's not okay with me. I would never be okay with someone doing that to me. And I wouldn't ever do something like that to someone of like, here are these needs that are openly being acknowledged, done, expressed. I'm going to stop everything, but I expect you to give full-heartedly. I think in any circumstance outside of anything, or just in anything, I don't foresee being like, no you, all me in any situation, context of emotions, of money, of well, food. I'm just trying to think of new things of like, of time, of gift giving, of affirmation, like anything. Like, that isn't okay or fair. It is reality to have boundaries, to have things that you can't do anymore. But to tell someone, not only do you need to do everything for me, but I'm not doing shit for you, the response that you should expect to receive is not going to be like, oh, perfect, that's great. Or, okay, yeah. Like, no. That's going to be detrimental, shitty, and potentially push that person away because it's like, how are you going to be like, I need you to fully commit, but I'm done. It's like being in a relationship being like, okay, I've noticed that you look at other girls. We're going to say this is a straight relationship too. You know, the girl's saying to a guy that, oh, I see that you look at other girls, and I'm not okay with that, but I've never really expressed that. I've just been like, uh-huh, or like sassy or whatever. But because I don't like that, I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to start cheating on you, and that's okay. I'm going to go sleep with whatever guy I want. But if you do anything, you sleep, you look, you touch, you anything, I mean, this is extreme to some extent, to be honest. But that's not okay. Like, how would you... Does that seem fair? Does that seem valid? No. I don't think. And nothing was expressed. There was no communication, really. It was maybe things, comments, maybe, that led to an extreme feeling. And I've been in this situation in relationships where I don't say anything, I maybe make comments or something, and then something happens and I blow up. How is that fair? That wasn't fair to the other person. It was not fair to the other person. And though there's circumstance I am thinking about, they were doing really shitty things already that was like beyond what was okay, and it involved lying and stuff like that. Like, it's different. But like, I'm just I can understand that. Like, yeah, I blew up though. I was like, you need to completely like, you know, get on your knees and fucking beg kind of thing of like, but no, that's not how fair, actual, real relationships work of any kind. I don't think and it feeds back into this be happy of like, I'm not saying that people who are like be positive, and positivity breeds more positivity, because I think that is absolutely true. I think that every individual has a different journey for what that is, and you can fake yourself into thinking it. You can have other people who, you know, you can choose to be in a relationship, for example. Wonder why I'm saying this. Who is that to an extent, and you're going to take that on because you're in a relationship with them and you're like, ooh, that's me. But is that really you? Is that really going to work long term? Is that really going to work with the relationships that you actually have in, beyond this one new person that is suddenly in your life that's just positive opposed to what you've dealt with? I don't know how, like, a positivity in general compared to, for example, abuse. Yeah, it seems like the best thing ever. It seems perfect. That doesn't make it perfect, though. Just because it's not abuse doesn't make it perfect. This is wrapping around back to this, I don't understand how, and some people can do that, right? Of like, oh, you know, shifting this like mentality completely. I can't. I've never been able to do that. And I've never really fully understood how people can, other than a coping mechanism. And I'm clearly not coping, so, you know, it's their mechanism, not mine. I just think it's crazy. I think it's hard, and I think that it has a time limit on how long it works. To anyone who is watching this who doesn't know me, sorry. I hope that this was interesting to listen to. And I just want you to think about a couple things. If anyone tells you to just be happy, or to be like, stop thinking about the past, we're in the present, shit like that, that's fucking rude. And it's okay to think that. That's fucking them trying to push aside shit because it doesn't fit the narrative of now. If they really cared and they really wanted to move on to right the present and the future and what will go on, they would sit and not only acknowledge, but let's figure it out. What that means for you, for me, for us, for the picture. And not just be like, well, it's a past. And especially to be like, oh, well, it's the past, and then bring up the past to fucking throw things in your face. That is not okay. And it is okay to be like, that's not fair. That's not valid. Because you're right. It's not. And sometimes we're in situations where people don't see that because it's 1v1. And so they're not looking at what the other person is noticing. They are just trying to fit the narrative. Sometimes that is what arguments or debates or even conversations can be. And I guess the last thing to get out of this thing, this whole bullshit, I guess, is to know that just because someone's a good person or positive does not mean they are a good person or positive for you, with your life. That's okay. It might cause turmoil. It's probably going to cause distance. Different kinds, depending on the situation. And that's okay. That's just what happens. Life fucking sucks. Life can be also what you make it. And though I agree that, right, we're wrapping back around of like positivity, you being positive will breed positivity. If you don't feel positive, forcing yourself to isn't the answer. Just see the positive. Just fucking look at the bright side. Just do this. Isn't how it works for everyone. And you're not better because that's how you look at things. Sorry to fucking call you out. Just because things are great and so perfect and so zen and so good and so meh does not make you perfect. Does not make your life actually good. Does not make you a good person. And does not make you actually spread positivity yourself or spread good intentions to others. Just so you know. But I hope that anyone who heard this got something out of this. And I hope you have a great day, great night, and I'll see you in the next video if you choose to watch. Have a good one. I don't know.